Good evening, race fans. This is Jack Peterson, and I'm here with Liam Melsa, and we are here to be covering this week's coverage of Core GT Season 13, Round 3 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Uh, Liam, why don't you say hi, introduce yourself, and kind of get a feel for this crowd?
Hi everybody, my name's Liam. I'm a fellow iRacing enthusiast. Glad to be joining here. Uh, it's a good night at IMS. Great track, especially for me. It's down the street. So
Yep. I understand that you work for some teams that come here quite often.
yeah, I work for Indy Next team and the step below IndyCar. So we come here twice a year, once for a test, actually coming up in 2 weeks here, and then back in May for the month of May festivities with two races Friday and Saturday, which are always a good time.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I know you guys get a lot of excitement for your series. It's starting to grow. You know, we got the IL 18. Am I right there with the Indy Next car?
IL 15,
IL
which was
15.
just added to iRacing, great addition. I know I've had a lot of fun running it and running in some leagues out there that I know do that. Maybe we'll see Core jump on the list of places that'll race that in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be a lot of fun to see some more variety with that. I know there's some leagues already starting off, trying to get those Indy Next cars incorporated. They seem pretty popular with the iRacing fan base. So yeah, anything's possible. We're always looking for new things to do and new members, of course. If any of you guys watching would like to join before the stream and after the stream, we have a Discord link or look up Core Racing League, and you will be able to find that no problem and come race with us. Come share your opinions and see if we can't get some more drivers in Core GT or any other series that we have going on. Core Xfinity, our Xfinity series, another very big one, very popular series that we're doing. I think we're in the playoffs right now, so getting close to the end of the season, but uh, you know, anyone's allowed to join. There's no discrepancies there. So as we are looking at Nathan Nickerson at the moment, kind of make his way through the track, up turns 1, 2, 3, entering 4. Nathan's been doing pretty good this season. Talked to him a little bit before practice started, and he's feeling okay about this track. It's not his particularly his favorite, but um, says that he was feeling pretty quick compared to the Indy 6-hour that he participated in a few months ago. So we'll see what he can do tonight. Of course, Mason Smith been winning some races in the past, really close from winning the championship last season. So I think he's going to try and get some revenge on his championship rival. Let's see if I could find him. I thought I saw him in here. Maybe not. Yep, Ricky Renner is a no-show, it looks like, here tonight. So we will miss him, but for now we are getting pretty close here. Nathan Nickerson pulling in your pole time of a 1:24.649 right now. Christopher Hamilton almost half a second off of him, so Nathan having a pretty nice gap to Nick Nickerson, who is only 2/10 behind now.
Mason Mason Smith up to the top of the board.
Absolutely, putting half a second on Nathan Nickerson right there. So he is feeling really good about his chances here tonight. as I am just going to make sure everyone is in their respective classes. Let's see, let's hop on board someone that's pretty much done with their lap here. I'll hop on board with Alex Jaspers and Liam. If you want to kind of explain each corner as they go through it, let me get us on our cockpit view and tell the ladies and gentlemen about the track and kind of what you should be doing in each corner.
We're coming out of the final corner here. It's a pretty much flat out corner, but that grass on the outside, it can be tricky. I've seen plenty of cars in practice and in other series go through that grass and spin and can cause a pretty big moment. Down into turn 1, heavy braking here, and then a tricky kind of turn 2 transition, followed by quickly right into turn 3 with that first hole complex. Now round in turn 4 here and headed towards the S's. Another section where if you make a mistake, it can cost you quite a bit. Down the long backstretch here at IMS. Another heavy braking zone here and into what I personally feel is probably the hardest section to get right on this track. One misstep and it kind of throws off all the other corners through here. And then coming up through here onto the short chute in between oval turn 1 and 2. Back through here and coming back through that final corner again to complete a lap.
Very nice. Good lap from Alex Jaspers there. Looked pretty clean. Puts him in 21st at the moment out of our 25 qualified competitors. So yeah, thank you, Liam, for taking us through that. It's always fun to kind of see what these drivers are going through for a lap here. As looking through our field here, Mason Smith having a very nice gap to Christopher Hamilton for pole position, but after third place, it's looking pretty tight for the most part, all the way until 11th place with Morgan Smith, I'm sorry, yeah, Morgan Smith, yep, looking like the biggest gap is a tenth. Everything else is less than a tenth, so a pretty tight field here. I think we're going to have some really competitive racing.
Could be a good night.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hop on board with some other drivers here. Seems like the Mercedes is a pretty popular car. We'll see a lot more of those cars toward the front of the field. Mason Smith rocking the Aston Martin, and Christopher Hamilton rocking in the BMW. So it should be a pretty interesting time to see how that goes as Dustin Nierhoff gets about a tenth and a half away from Mason Smith, so definitely closing that gap in. Some of these drivers are finishing up their qualifying efforts here. We hop on with Dave Tilford running in the Lamborghini. I've seen him run some variety of cars so far this season, so it should be interesting to see what he can do in the only Lamborghini in the session. Running 12th place so far. So what do you think, Liam? We're going to see any excitement into turn 1, into that little chicane section in the early parts of the lap? Do you think these guys can manage through it? What's kind of your prediction here?
I mean, in all the racing I've been at or seen here, turn 1 is always going to be you got to make it through there, and it's chaos. 3, 4, I've seen even 5 wide down the front stretch headed to turn 1, and you kind of funnel right down in there by the apex of turn 1, and then turn 2, it gets even tighter after that. So we'll see. I mean, I've seen cars as far as the leaders get bumped and have to take the escape route, or things like that. So I think it'll be definitely an interesting turn one, and then an interesting time through the S's onto the backstretch for the first time, and then I think hopefully nobody makes a mistake at the end of the backstretch, and everyone should be good and clear to race less chaotically, let's say, for the rest of the lap, and have some good battles throughout the whole field there.
Yep, absolutely. We'll definitely hope these drivers can make it through. I know the cold tires on these GT cars have made it a little harder for some of these guys to manage through the opening couple laps. As we see Nick Terrell doing some extracurricular activities with the car right before the race, so giving the mechanics a little bit of an aneurysm before we start here. But
Never.
it's still going to put him in fourth position. Yeah, good effort from Nick. And as we get qualifying all wrapped up here, let it reload here. Mason Smith puts on your pole position with Dustin Neerhoof rounding out second position, and Christopher Hamilton rounding out your podium positions. Fourth place, Nick Terrell. Fifth place, Nathan Nickerson. Sixth place, Herbert Pineda. Seventh place, Yavi Sierra. Eighth place, Morgan Smith. Ninth, Nash M. Fry. And 10th, we have Nick Nickerson. In 11th, we have Austin Diltz. 12th place, Josh Anderson. 13th, Dave Tilford. 14th, Dawson Guzik. Sorry if I mispronounced your name there, Dawson. 5th place, Ethan Reed. 16th, Josh Betts. 17th, Jesse Francisco. 18th, William Burrell. 19th, Alex Jaspers. 20th, Aaron Reed. And in 21st, we have James Molyneux. 22nd, Zane Bierman. 23rd, Michael Pacone. 24th, CJ Conklin. 25th, Fozzie Fazzillo. 26th, Tim Thompson. 27th, Xavier Bays. And rounding out final position is John Crane. Alright, so we got all of our drivers lined up here on the starting grid, waiting for our final few cars to finish up whatever they're doing in the pits, bathroom breaks, little pep talks, inspirational quotes, whatever they need to do to get into the car and be in their peak performance.
I mean, who doesn't love a good pep talk before the race? With the drivers I work with, it's a must before every time out on the track.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure a lot of them just need to kind of get their headspace in the game. Yeah, you work with a lot of those more professional drivers out there. You think that they do any special preparation or anything like that before a race that your typical iRacer wouldn't do?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I've had drivers in the past that would do stretches, things like that, push-ups before the race, all sorts of things. So, I mean, you don't know what's going on behind the closed doors of somebody's sim room or wherever they have their sim set up. So I'm sure people got their own thing, and who's to judge that if that's what's going to get them this win tonight?
Yep, absolutely. Kind of giving a rundown. Mason Smith, of course, being really quick, being your runner-up in last season's championship. Dustin Neerhoof being a rookie, and he seems to be pretty competitive with those top contenders right now. So he might be someone to take a look at. Other potential winners tonight: Christopher Hamilton is always pretty quick. Nathan Nickerson, never really count him out. Nick Terrell, he's starting up front, so. We usually see him starting from the back and just kind of work his way up, but he decided to put in some good qualifying times, so we might see him make a run for the top. Nick Nickerson starting a little further back, so he's going to have some tough challenges trying to make his way up, but it is definitely possible. In 7th place, Herbert Pineda. He is definitely one to look out for. He might squeak out a podium position tonight if all goes well for him. So Yeah, those are kind of your big hitters for tonight, but of course, this is racing, this is IMS, anything is possible.
Right, you are. And with all the chaos we talked about that'll ensue on this first lap, it's just about anybody's race.
Absolutely. That's pretty cool scenes here on that backstretch. Everyone warming up their tires, trying to get every little bit of performance that they can for these opening laps.
Right, you are. And I mean, you really got to warm them up well, especially with turn one being such a heavy braking zone. Don't want to have any lockups or anything like that that could cause you to go off or run into somebody and end your race before it really even gets a chance to start.
Yep, absolutely. We've seen that before, and it really does suck. So we will just try and make sure that everyone has a safe and smooth opening first laps. As we have our drivers rounding out the final corners, the pace car is coming off, going into the pits. We have Mason Smith rounding out your final corner. Pretty soon here, he's going to take the green flag from Barney. And we have everyone all bunched up. Just waiting for that long pause for the green flag, and green flag, here we go. All of our drivers making it clean. We have to enforce a rule that no one breaks out of the line until after the start-finish line. After that, it is a free-for-all. It looks like we have some drivers.
We're already 3 wide in the mid-pack.
Looking like everyone's making it through pretty good so far. See Michael Pacone dropping down the field just a little bit. But I don't see any really big moments so far. Everyone making it through pretty tamed. Looks like we have, who is that? Michael Pacone right there, going a little off track on the chicane right there. But in all, making it work really, really well. We'll see if he can hold off that position right there. Yes, he can. But it looks like Dustin Neerhoof got that position pretty quick. Already has a half a second gap to Mason Smith.
Oh, right, there's a spin.
Oh, yep, there is.
Nick Nickerson.
Yep, looking like he had an incident. We'll make sure this first lap goes well with the leaders, and we will definitely take a look at that. Looks like there's a few incidents on my report here, so have a look back right there. Ooh. It's Dawson getting a little sideways, but he's able to collect it right there. But that's going to allow Jesse Francisco and David Tilford and even Josh Betts to get around him on this front stretch. So that little mistake costing him big on that long start-finish stretch. And coming to turn one, looking pretty good right there. Alright, let's take a look at what happened with Nathan here. Like just a little too excited with the throttle, and getting out of there. Looks like we have Fozzie Fazzillo went off track right here. I wonder if he just took an escape road. Nope, he got a little too excited right there on the chicane, and also had a quick moment right there as well.
There's a big crash that just happened while we were rewatching that. Looks like at least 3 cars involved so far.
Let's see what happened here. I'm back on track with Josh Betts. Ooh, man, looks like a big dive from driver further back. Maybe just missing his braking point right there. And just takes out Josh Betts, and I think that would be Jesse Francisco as well right there. So a tough break from those drivers right there. Hop back on live with Dustin Neerhoof, keeping a 10th gap, so he's squeaking that out a little bit more. So very well done from him.
I mean, that's a corner that it's very easy to misjudge there, and you just go in a little too deep and hit the brakes and lock up. I think that's probably what happened there, and then you're just kind of along for the ride. It's terrible for all three of the cars involved there.
Yeah, absolutely. As Jesse Francisco having a very nice first section or first sector going through that little sweeping chicane spot right there, making the pass on the BMW of Aaron Reed. So very well done from Jesse.
Doesn't look like that damage is affecting him too much, at least in this early going. After being involved in that incident.
I think he just able to squeak away from that one. So good job from Jesse, and continue making his way up. So we'll hop on board with this battle right here, looking like one of the closer battles, at least a bigger bunch right here. So we'll be able to see if Austin Dilts can make the pass on Nash Fry. It's a long front stretch, so a draft is really, really helpful through here. Looks like with both of them being in identical cars, not too much of an advantage with the draft right there for Austin Dilts. Someone that will probably get a pass here is Fozzie Vazilla on Aaron Reed. Aaron Reed tumbling down, looks like pretty far. So we'll see if Fozzie Vazilla can start making up some positions after his early spin. Pretty good pack right here, and looks like Mason Smith is catching up to the leaders a little bit. About under half a second, roughly, between the drivers right there. So there we go. Get your drivers up right there, and see if I can also get our track map up right here. Here we go. Pretty good from our leaders. Just making our way through. These guys are going to be a lot more timid on their, or how aggressive they are, I should say. They're going to try and save as much fuel as they can and not really push it too hard in these opening laps. Obviously, if there's a opening, they're going to take it, but they're not going to force anything that isn't a guarantee.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of endurance racing, like we do here. They got an hour and 53 minutes left of the hour, so there's plenty of time to make a move. There's plenty of time for strategy to play out, so I'd be content with just sitting back, saving some fuel, and being able to potentially get a shorter pit stop here if I was Mason Smith or Christopher Hamilton.
Yep, absolutely. As it looks like Mason Smith is all over the bumper of Dustin as Mason get those tires warmed up, putting a little bit of pressure on Dustin, trying to make him make a mistake right there. As he touched the grass, that's going to help or hurt him on this exit right here. Mason getting right up on that bumper, so I wonder if he's going to start taking a look right here on the outside. Dustin moving to the defensive position, covering off the inside. See if Mason can just hold on turn 1. He's going to have a better line through turn 2. I don't think it's going to be quite enough. That turn 3 is really what seals a lot of fates for someone trying to make a pass right there. But Mason able to really make it work around the outside. Still going to be alongside and see if he can get the faster line through the chicane. Yes, he is. Austin Dilts having a little, or Dustin Nearhoof, I'm sorry, having a little bit of a bobble right there. Now we're going to be 3 wide down the front stretch. Yeah. So it looks like Christopher Hamilton having the best through there. Mason Smith getting a little bit out of sorts, but Dustin is going to emerge victorious out of all of that right there. So brilliant racing from our leaders right now.
I mean, we talked about how they're just going to take it easy, and I guess we were wrong there, Jack.
I guess
They
so.
showed up to race tonight.
Yeah, this is some fantastic stuff. That's even allowing Herbert Pineda to close up to everyone. I was telling you earlier, he's going to be looking at a podium here tonight. So if two of these drivers mess up, take each other out, or anything like that, he's going to be right there to pounce. So we're going to see if Dustin can maintain this gap right here. Mason was able to close it in earlier. Dustin fighting back, so we'll see if that's going to replicate later on in this race. It's pretty nice seeing some rookies come up here and show our top drivers how it's done. They're not afraid to get their hands dirty and show them what they got.
Well, and at the end of the day, Dustin may be a rookie to Decor here, but I'm sure he's done plenty of racing before then. So
Absolutely, with kind of the space that he was giving Mason right there, and um, being able to stick it out, take the lead back after going 3 wide through that left-hander and the chicane. Definitely showed that he's got some tricks up his sleeve. And as we head back onto the front stretch, everyone being pretty single file right here, kind of having a train of slipstream going on right now. So nothing really too crazy right here, as it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a pass right here from Austin Delts on Nash Fry. Right there, kind of closing him off on turn 2, but had that move pretty much done and dusted by the time they got there. So very well done from Austin Delts. Looks like John Crane, CJ Conklin having some goes at each other. John Crane lifting and giving him that position right there. I'm gonna try and look on that one right now. Looks like Jesse Francisco trying to mount another pass right here on this left-hander, where our leaders went 3 wide. See if he can be a little bit better on the brakes. Yes, he can. Getting right by Dawson right there. So he's made up another position right there. Jesse making up 3 positions from the start. Looks like our biggest gainer right now is Tim Thompson, making up 5 positions from the start. Oh, I'm sorry, that's 8 positions on the start. Misread that one. Very well done from Tim Thompson. So we'll hop back on board with our leaders right here. Christopher Hamilton getting a little closer right there down the turn 1. But not able to get anything so far, as it looks like Mason Smith getting by Nathan Nickerson right there into turn, I think that would be 4. Looks like he is not quite done yet. And right on the bumper of Mason Smith right there, but I think he's trying to save some fuel. Not really looking for a pass right there.
I think at this point in this for the race, time to calm down, set your pace, and try and save some fuel, save some tire.
I agree, but Christopher Hamilton is disagreeing with you right now as he's making the move for first place.
Yeah, you can see Dustin went a little wide there on the corner exit, which really just kind of sealed the deal. Christopher was already there, but that really sealed the deal for him. Let him slip by, no issue.
Yep, absolutely.
Looks like Dustin, thinking about it, decides better of it.
He might be thinking about the long game here as well, as I'm seeing a couple crashes here and there, but I don't really want to tear away from the action right here. Looks like Nick Nickerson is making a pass here on turn 1. And he's going to make that stick. So good job from him. As Christopher Hamilton is starting to build a small gap on Dustin. Dustin being really good on the brakes. Getting as close as he can to that BMW. This is definitely one of those races where, you know, you got to really think about your strategy and your position here. I know this track could be a little bit demanding on these GT cars. They have a little bit less aero, so going through those little weavy sections and all that stuff, you're relying more on the tire to give you that grip, especially on that final corner. Dustin just kind of tapping the wall right there. I have to wonder if a little bit of dirty air made a bit of a difference right there. Like I said, these GT cars, they don't have a lot of aero, but the aero that they do have, they're really dependent on it. So getting rid of it is a bit of a hardship for these drivers.
One of the things I'm noticing here is it seems that Dustin is much better coming into this braking zone at the end of the backstretch than Christopher, but Christopher's a little better coming into turn 1, and so is Mason Smith on Dustin, which makes it a kind of bit of an accordion effect there, and definitely is going to make it interesting in the late running when they're all kind of pushing a little harder for this win.
Yeah, absolutely. Front is doing pretty good. They are definitely settling down, like you said, Liam, and definitely doing a pretty good job of just keeping the cars together and making it to their first pit stop. Looking back up here, looks like we have a couple off tracks right here. Looks like we have a crash in Jesse Francisco. See what happened there, if he got into someone or just lost it himself. So he just lost it himself. So a tough break from Jesse, but trying to resafe jointly. Ooh.
Another car off in the grass at the same time.
Looking like he got back going pretty good right there. Like some more battles right here. Looks like Nash Fry getting really aggressive on the brakes right there. Getting tangled up with Ethan Reed right there. I think he's making that work pretty good, and he is now on the back of Austin Diltz. Gonna try and make a move right there, potentially into turn 1 again.
Looking down the running order, our biggest mover, Tim Thompson, picked up another one, up 9 from the start of the race.
Absolutely, 7/10 behind Zane Bierman. So we'll see if he can move that up to 10. Pretty interesting. Looks like Nash taking a look down turn 1, but not quite having something there just yet. So I'm going to keep an eye on that gap. So it looks like we'll head on with our leaders. Still a little bit more spaced out now. Top 5 still less than a second apart from each other, but not quite striking distance here at IMS.
And you just gotta stay close enough to get some of that benefit of the draft down the straightaways, and spacing yourself out will help save the tires a little bit, get a little more air on the front of the cars, and just finding that pace till we get to these pit stops and see how it goes from there. Everyone, I'm sure, is going to be on a different strategy up here in the front. See how everyone cycles out.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're a second even, or half a second even up to a second, you can make all that up in the pits, depending on how fast you enter the pits, and just being really efficient with your stop and getting a good getaway after your stop. All of those factors can make a really big difference when you stack them all together. So these drivers just need to maintain a gap and see what happens after our pit stop cycles. I think we're only going to have 2 here tonight, being 40% fuel. I think if these drivers can really save, they might be able to make something work with a 1 stop, but that'd be a pretty big save.
With it being a 2-stop strategy, I think we'll see drivers coming in for that first stop any second here within the next couple laps, and start to see how this race is going to shake out.
Yep, absolutely. Ooh, looks like a little bit of issues with lap traffic right there. That's brought the gap of the leader right on down, so now the top 3 are bunched right on up. Let's see what happens right here. Hop on with Justin right here as he's right in the middle. Might be able to make a move on Christopher Hamilton here in turn 1.
Gonna try it. Late on the brakes.
Right around the outside, Christopher Hamilton getting on the grass, getting a little twitchy.
Ooh.
That's going to allow Dustin to have a better exit. And he's going to be ahead in turn 4. Turn 5.
That was some real heads-up racing from the 2 of them there. You could both see through that turn 1, 2, and 3 section there, both of them having a little bit of a wiggle, racing on a line that they wouldn't be taking every lap.
Yep, absolutely. That was really good. Just maintaining your track position, really, not letting the car get away from you from Christopher Hamilton. So he lost the position, but he's still right there to strike. And he did it once before, so let's see if he can do it again. I can guarantee you that he was not very happy with the lap car holding him up like that, especially on a corner as critical as the final corner here.
Ooh, first dive to pit road there.
Yep, from Nathan
You can
Nicholson.
see the background. I'm thinking a little bit of a undercut strategy from him, and see once the rest of the leaders on the pit road, see how that plays out for him.
Yep, absolutely. As we'll see, I don't want to stay on him too long, because this battle right here, like Christopher Hamilton, Dustin getting side by side through the chicane. It looks like Christopher backing off a little bit right there. So I'm gonna go too wide at the moment. Trying to see if Nathan's getting tires. It doesn't quite look like it. So he's opting for the safer option. Short turn safer, but it might suffer a little bit down the road. So time will tell to see what happens with Nathan.
Gotta say, one of the people that we haven't talked a ton about tonight, who I think has a really fast car and is just kind of waiting in the background here, is Mason Smith. He's been right there with the leaders all night, as he inherits the lead actually right here.
Yep, absolutely.
Going a little bit long on this first stint.
Yep. So he's going for the overcut, see if he can't get a clean lap in here, put in a fast in lap, make up some of that time sitting behind the cars in front.
Yeah, and I think he was able to save a little bit more fuel than potentially the leaders, because he was sitting back there, not really mixing it up, save some tires, save some fuel, and just got a front row seat to a great battle there for a while.
Yep, absolutely. And I am sure he's going to try and encourage some more of that good racing. As a big majority of our drivers are in the pits right now. They are either in the pits or heading out right now. Nathan Nickerson, your first one to be outside of the pits. As it looks like he and Christopher Hamilton were neck and neck right there. But it looks like Christopher just having a little bit faster of a time right there. Dustin being able to keep ahead of Christopher right there.
I will say we don't know. Nathan clearly has a little more heat in those tires. He might be able to get back up there and at least cycle out to being closer to that front than he was on the originally going down into the pits.
Yep, absolutely. Keep a look at this battle right here. So Christopher Hamilton getting pretty close on the back of Dustin. So he might be looking to move up a position on this front stretch right here. But we're also going to have to see where Mason comes out as well. Because he should be coming out of the pits any second now. And he just got released from the pit box. And there he is right there. That really, really long pit exit cone right there. So he's going to have a little bit of a front row seat as the leaders go right on past. Dustin getting a little bit in the grass right there. That's going to allow Christopher to make a move on the inside right here, getting right up close personal. Dustin giving him plenty of room. See if going to go too wide right here. Whoa! A little bit of net code. Christopher getting into the back of Dustin. Dustin able to keep that together. He's going to keep it going. Great save from Dustin, but lots of net code from Christopher and Dustin right there, causing Dustin to spin. It's a tough, tough break from Dustin right there, giving him a lot of room.
Dustin, and a big beneficiary of that is Nathan Nickerson and Mason Smith cycling to P1 and P2.
Yep, absolutely. That was a great opportunity right there for Nathan to inherit the lead. As I said before, he was feeling pretty good about this race, trying to make sure that, you know, he just kept it consistent and try and replicate what he did during the Indy 6 hour.
I mean, at this moment in time, it's definitely a setback for Dustin, and tires are going to be a little bit more worn than he probably was anticipating for this early in this run, but I don't think you can count him completely out yet. He's still there within a couple seconds. Anything can happen. We still got another pit stop at least to go.
Yep, absolutely. There's a couple things here. Javi Sierra getting right up in front of says it should be Dave Tilford right there, so maybe that was a lap car that he was getting in front of. But anyways, that was Ethan Reed defending that position. I was going to go back and rewatch that little strafe right here. So looked like Christopher Hamilton just got on the curb right there and settled the car and just got into the back of Astin right there. So tough break. Those guys right there.
Yeah, at least from one of those views there for a second, it did look like they were finally getting a little argy-bargy there for a second, getting a little closer than they had been all race. Christopher, at the beginning of that section, looked like he was given very little room to the curb, and I think just he did not expect to be where he was when he turned in for that final section final corner headed to the backstretch and just got on top of the curb a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if we can get one more look on that after see this little exchange with Javi Sierra and Ethan Reed. Javi going for another dive bomb on turn 1 right there. It slowed down just enough, but Ethan being able to carry just enough momentum on turn 1. Looks like he's going to defend that position pretty well. Alright, let's do...
Oh, I guess there was a lot more room than that initial replay showed there. That's my mistake.
There's a good amount of room, but I don't think that would have been as big of a hit if it wasn't for the good old iRacing netcode. So, tough break from Dustin right there, but I'm sure he'll be able to come on back up and maybe make a challenge. There's still more than 30 minutes, half this race to go, so still plenty of time to make something happen. I tell you what, though, I'm pretty impressed with Nathan Nickerson being able to hold off our World Championship leader, championship runner-up last year, Mason Smith. So very well done from Nathan, but Mason able to catch right on up on that turn 1-2 segment.
That is one area that Mason has been strong in all night, closing under braking there.
Yep, absolutely. He's going to get a nice bit of draft right here. So maybe we'll see him try and make something work right here. Not quite. He is definitely letting Nathan know that he is right there and he will not ask twice for an opportunity.
I gotta say here, Jack, it's beautiful to watch these cars go around this track with the sun setting on IMS. Lights are coming on.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, this is a pretty good time to do it because track's starting to get a little darker, but we could still see everything just fine. So this is something pretty good, and I'm sure we'll have good, at least decent lighting for the rest of the race tonight.
Just look at the closing rate on Mason's car there. Goes from car length between them to quarter car length under braking there, and I don't think Mason was really pushing that too hard. He knew he wasn't going to be able to make a big enough lunge down into turn 1 that time.
Yep,
we'll see what he can do coming off the backstretch.
Nathan really just being confident with his line, you know, not faltering whatsoever with Mason's presence right behind. I know that could be a little bit of a challenge, knowing you have a really fast guy right behind you and just keeping your nerve, keeping your composure, just like that. Get a little bit in the grass, and that's going to hand Mason the position right there on a spoon.
What an odd mistake there. You don't see them getting in the grass too much on that portion of the track.
Yep, absolutely.
And Nathan now under fire from Christopher here, trying to make his way back up to the front after that incident with Dustin there.
Yep. Christopher being right there, but Nathan also having the draft on Mason, so Christopher can't really utilize too much of a draft to or get a slipstream anyway. Slingshot his way up to turn 1.
As we're also catching quite a bit of lap traffic out here, I can see at least 2 cars out in the distance off of Christopher's car that are lap traffic.
Yep, absolutely. Looks like it's Aaron Reed in front of Mason at the moment. And it's kind of a tough part of the track to let a faster car go by, so he's just going to have to suffer and wait right there until pretty much right here. It's kind of the best spot to let people by.
You could see he tried to give him that space, and the expectation, I think Mason did not expect him to make that move, and you saw that little wiggle down to the inside from Mason, but he kept it all together, kept kept the car going the right direction.
Yep, absolutely. And he was able to get a really good exit out of that final corner. Nathan was right on the bumper coming into that final little section, but he was able to make that work no problem. Well, it's nice that our leaders are giving us a pretty good, exciting battle for the night. You know, it's been 30 minutes of non-stop action from the best part of the field, so I had to thank those guys once they come up. And
Nathan taking a 1 cheer, deciding against it.
Absolutely.
I will say, looking at the top 5 right here, you got 4 manufacturers in the top 5. It looks like Aston Martin, Mercedes, Ford, all having very collectively strong groups of drivers here. Christopher in that BMW, which is also lightning fast. Just no other real teammates per se to help him inside that top 10 right now.
Yep, absolutely. And a theme that I'm noticing right now, and it's something that I've been hearing for a while from a lot of the fast guys, is front engine cars with this new tire model are pretty much king. And well, the top 9 is all front engine cars. And I know the Astin has been a little bit draggy, but Mrs. Smith definitely able to make it work, and even Austin Diltz and Nash Fry all in the top 10 running Astin. As we see Jesse Francisco making his way by either Tim Thompson, or that might have been a lap car right there actually. Let's see. That was Tim Thompson. So good job from Jesse again right there.
Been a little bit of a rough night for Jesse. Obviously, we've seen him as high as 14th, if I remember correctly, and just up and down. Has been involved in other people's mistake, had a small mistake of his own. Just clawing back through, trying to make the most of a not so perfect race.
Absolutely. Jesse being an expert oval driver, as well as someone that enjoys Formula a little bit more than the GT side, so he's kind of stepping out of his comfort zone being in these GT3 cars, but definitely able to make it work. As we have David Tilford getting pretty close to Ethan Reed. What were you saying?
Especially at one of Jesse's favorite tracks, I know. This is one of the ones he was looking forward to on the course schedule. You know, he's doing a good job with the issues he's faced today, and you know, at the end of the day, you can't tell how much damage is on that car, so hopefully he can bring a good end to this race here in the last 20 or so minutes after getting in a incident not of his doing at the beginning.
Yep, absolutely. As Ethan Reed and David Tilford are going below right now. And David Tilford being a pretty quick driver, but Ethan Reed not stepping down. He is really making his stake of claim known, getting really close on that right-hander, but David Tilford able to carry a little bit more momentum around the outside. But we're going to see if Ethan can get a good exit right here, get a nice drive off, and use some of this draft.
As we were talking about front engine cars, now the whole top 10 is front engine cars.
Look at that. So well done from David Tilford, being the first mid-engine car. Pretty much the best of the rest is what we'll call that position.
In the single Lamborghini entry, there's a lot of McLarens in this field, and it's mixed results through the mid pack, I think.
Yep, I would have to agree. Seems like it's anyone's race right there as far as manufacturer. Trying to break that top 10. Yeah, it is definitely a strong front engine field for your top 10. It's pretty rare that we see some kind of consistency like that.
I hate to say it for Dustin. Dustin tonight, things look to be not increasing. That gap is not closing at any sort of rate. He's actually losing, I think, that lead pack a little more, which is disappointing to see after such a strong first half of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to wonder if he picked up any damage from that contact beforehand. Wonder if his tires also might have suffered just a little bit through that slide. Just kind of taking a quick look at his bumper on our drone camera. Not seeing too much going on right there, so I think he might be alright.
I think tonight is one of those nights that he'll look back and just wonder what could have been.
As a driver, that's definitely the worst. You know, getting sucked into that what if or the false scenario, it's going to make anyone go crazy.
Exactly.
As it looks like we have some of our drivers kind of in their way.
Oh, car off on the grass.
Yep, that car going on through, but looks like Nathan Nickerson having a little bit of a tough time defending Christopher right there. He's kind of faltering around his line right there. Christopher taking a little bit of a better line through the chicane, not to get into Nathan right there. But he is definitely right on his bumper.
You do have to wonder at this point, those tires that we saw Nathan not take, is that really biting him here in the closing stages of this second stint?
Yeah, absolutely. If he was pretty easy on his tires at this point right now, he should still be pretty good. Maybe losing a little bit of time, especially if Christopher did take tires. But yeah, if he was pushing his tires, then yeah, he's going to start feeling them right now. But there's still time to pick up tires one more time before the end of this race. But you know, they only have time to do one, maybe two tires before it adds on to the pit stop.
I gotta say here, looking at how it's going right now, Mason Smith's car is really picking up some pace as we start to fall into the night here. Went from half-second gap to within a couple laps. He's now 2.2 clear of Nathan there.
Yeah, absolutely. Nathan having to be a little bit defensive too. Think about Christopher right behind. So I think his focus is a little bit wavering as well. We saw Nathan make a little bit of a mistake earlier on with Mason putting on the pressure, so you have to wonder if Christopher can replicate that sort of performance. It looks like we have some more of our drivers starting to jump into the pits right here. Looks like we're starting our first pit cycles as I say that, Christopher Hamilton jumping into the pits. So Nathan Nickerson able to go on.
Breathe a little bit.
Yep. hopefully put in a little bit of a quick out lap or in lap and not worry about the car behind.
I think we'll see how Christopher ends up stacking up with this undercut. We know it worked for Nathan, but not in the traditional sense of coming out in front or coming out right there with the leaders on hot tires, but still ended up in the lead for a little bit.
Yep, absolutely. As you know, looking at this field right now, looks like our platinum drivers are, you know, not representing their rank as well as you would expect. We have a couple gold drivers up in the podium positions right now. I mean, I know there's some pit stops in there, a couple rookies and a silver driver up in those spots. So something a little bit interesting to look at here at the moment. So we'll see some more of our drivers making it work. Nathan Nickerson coming into the pits right now. Of course, Mason Smith able to make it work on another lap of fuel.
He really has been able to stretch his pit windows here over these past two stints. I think his first stint he went 2 laps longer than the leaders, or the rest of the leaders. We'll see what he does here.
Yep, absolutely. See if he was able to pull out another lap after that fuel cycle, or it's still just a 1 lap gap. Pit cycles always make stuff interesting. Always kind of bunches people up, and everyone have a little bit of a different time here in the pits. Looking at it, I see some people at 18.2 seconds, some people 17.4 seconds. There's a 13.7, a 10.6. So everyone's pit stops can really change the outcome of this race here. And Mason is able to go out on another lap ahead of Nathan Nickerson and company. Looks like that decision to go out an extra lap really hurt Nathan right there, as Christopher Hamilton is, nearly 1.6 seconds, second and a half seconds ahead of Nathan Nickerson right there.
Well, I wonder myself, did Nathan there have to take some tires? We saw him struggling towards the end of that stint. Did Christopher potentially take tires on that earlier stop?
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at the times right now, looks like Nathan was 2.4 seconds, 2.3 seconds slower than Christopher Hamilton in the pits. So a little bit of an interesting statistic right there for you, as looks like Mason Smith coming out very, very well ahead. Or no, I don't think he has stopped yet. I think this is still him able to go. So he is doing some wizard stuff with that fuel tank.
But if you go based on his first stop there, he could potentially go another 2 laps more with the fuel that he's got in his tank. I mean, with only 13 minutes remaining, is it almost to the point where he might be trying to stretch it all the way to the end here?
I think stretching it to the end is going to be a really big ask, but if anyone can do it, it's either Mason or Nick Terrell.
He's got that 30-second gap to the next car behind him, I think, and that's to Dave Tilford, who I believe hasn't stopped as well. So he's really looking at about 40 seconds he can burn here, if he's going to try and stretch it all the way to the end.
Absolutely. Which that would be a massive feat if he could do that. But I'll tell you what, he's gonna have a slower or a faster stop regardless. You know, he's able to go this much longer in this race, so that's gonna make fueling a lot shorter, a lot less time stationary. So we see Dawson trying to make a move on Fozzie Fazolo. Fozzie showing some pretty good defense right here. So Dawson trying to make his presence known any way he can. Looks like he's really fast to this snaking section of the track. So he just needs to maintain something as he's taking a look right here. Looks like Fozzie having to slow down just a little bit. And that's going to allow Dawson to come right on through. As Fozzie jumps into the pits right there. So maybe he was just trying to have an open lane for the pits right there and not getting anyone's way.
Does look like Mason Smith has taken his car to pit road here. We'll see how he cycles out. As much as my hope that he'd try. Oh, there's a big crash there coming out of the final corner.
Absolutely, as we have Dustin trying to make a move on Herbert Pineda. Herbert going really early on the brakes. Dustin making it slow down right to the point where he needs to, and gets around Herbert Pineda for 4th place. Passing a couple cars here on the grass. Wonder how many people took tires and just forgot how the cold tires can affect the car. But looking at it right here, Mason Smith had a precisely 1 second faster stop than Christopher Hamilton in 2nd place. So going long definitely helped him right there.
You can see that exactly on the timing charts. I think before the pit cycle they were roughly 2.2 seconds apart. They're bouncing around right around 3.2 right now. We'll see with 10 minutes remaining, can Christopher close that gap up? It's a big ask here, but we'll see if he's got anything left in the tank.
Yep, absolutely. As it was 3.2 earlier on, now it's dropping down to 2.7. So either Mason's having some issues or Christopher Hamilton is really picking up some pace. As it looked like Herbert Pineda was getting right on up close with Dustin, but I think he knows Dustin's pretty quick right here, so he's just trying to keep on his bumper until the end. You know what? I think that's why we saw Mason's gap drop down a little bit. I think he had some lap traffic right there slowing him down. So with 9 minutes left, almost 8 minutes left here in the race, is this kind of what you expected out of the race here tonight, Liam? Any surprises jump at you tonight?
I mean, from the early going, I think Mason Smith did not, within the first opening laps, he wasn't necessarily somebody that was out there racing for the win. He was in that lead pack, but he wasn't battling, and clearly that strategy has paid off for him as he's now set sailed to 2.4 second lead. But I think towards the end of that first run, you really saw him come on strong.
Yeah,
I also got to give it up for boy Tim Thompson. Really, he might have started at the back, or towards the back, but up 10 spots. That's a great race.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim Thompson doing a really good job making up some of those positions as we were talking about that. Looked like Dustin got a little bit offline, lost the rear end a little bit, and that allowed Herbert to sneak on through. So Dustin has to do all that work all over again to try and get in that fourth position.
Such a hard race for Dustin.
Absolutely, it was looking really good for him early on, but just starting to fall off a little bit, and looks like he might be settling for this fifth place unless he can really, pull it together and make something work. We are on board with Dave Tilford. Looked like he was getting pretty close to Yavi Sierra, but I think he may have bobbled that out just a little bit and has to make up some of that time all over again.
Mason Smith really turning up the wick here in closing stages of this race. Really pulled out that lead quite a bit on this last lap here.
Yeah, absolutely. Gap up to 3.2 seconds. So he definitely found that half a second that he was missing a little later on. See if we can find some people like Xavier. We haven't talked too much about him, rookie in core racing. I haven't seen him too much here this season. I've been driving the first couple races, so haven't been able to meet everyone on the grid. So nice to see some new faces here tonight. Got William Burrell here racing with us again tonight, getting in the silver division. So congratulations to him. Michael Picone, other driver, looks like he's just kind of taking it easy, not doing too much here, keeping that 20th place, and still has a decent gap to the car behind, but I think he's just wanting to kind of do his thing. Zane Bierman, another new face in core that I have not seen too much of. Running pretty good here tonight, up 3 positions from his qualifying spot. And of course, Josh Betts, our longtime runner here tonight. And right behind him, Josh Anderson. And always have to give a big thank you to Josh Anderson for sponsoring the series with Chase Decals. We wouldn't be here broadcasting without them. They definitely help us out, so feel free to check them out at chasedecals.com and support the folks who support the sport. As it looks like with the last couple laps here, Josh Betts trying to make a move here on CJ Conklin. Haven't seen CJ in a while, so good to see him back here in core racing.
Tim Thompson picking up another one, up 11 spots since the start of this race.
Yep, absolutely. He's going really good. Ooh, Josh Betts getting right up close personal with CJ right there, but he's able to slow it down enough and not cause any issues. It looks like CJ having to go pretty slow right there. Maybe a slowdown from CJ right there. He lost a lot of time right there, so that definitely looks like some kind of penalty. And it's going to allow that lap car to go right on by. Actually, that was Josh Anderson right there, the lapper going on by. But as we start rounding out our final corners, keep an eye on Mason Smith and make sure nothing happens to him in these closing stages of this race. Ooh.
Big wiggle there.
Right there, yep.
Just a little bit too much of that curb there on exit.
Absolutely, but he was able to gather it up nicely and not really have any issue from it other than that. So we have Nick Terrell getting right up on Austin Diltz right here. He's definitely making his claim known. Let's see if he can get a good drive off here and potentially make something work here into turn one, which it looks like he's done just that. When your gap is under 2/10, it starts to plummet really fast when you're in that draft.
Here he goes, makes it a dive, thinks better of it.
A little bit earlier on the brakes, so Austin Diltz being the last of the late breakers right there. Giving Nick Terrell a nice little run for his money.
He's going to be there, headed down it this backstretch.
Yep, let's see if he can get him right here.
Make his move. Brakes,
Ooh, getting side by side.
What a late move, but luckily both willing to give a little bit of room, keep them both on the racetrack.
And Nick Terrell ultimately getting that position right there and immediately taking that defensive line. Austin Diltz is not quite done yet. He is all over the bumper right there. Going to take a wide line, see if he can get a better exit right here. Take that late apex. And see if he can get right on in that draft. Nick Terrell going ultra defensive, riding that pit lane straight, breaking that toe as best he can. Looks like that's going to work out for him right there. Oh, and that was actually the finish right there. So, sorry about that. We got Mason Smith, your winner here tonight. Christopher Hamilton and Nathan Nickerson starting out your podium positions, with Herbert Pineda in 4th place and Dustin having to settle for 5th place right there. And Nick Terrell and Austin Diltz was able to conclude their battle right there at the end. Looks like everyone else is figuring their way through their final lap right here. Is Josh Anderson able to take home that flag? So yeah, we'll wait here and wait for the results to pop up as they do right here. Alright, here we are. So we got your winner here tonight, Mason Smith, with 2nd place Christopher Hamilton, and rounding out your podium position, Nathan Nickerson. 4th place tonight is Herbert Pineda, 5th place Dustin Nierhoff, 6th place Nick Terrell, 7th Austin Diltz, 8th place Nash Fry, 9th place Yavi Sierra, and 10th place Dave Tilford. And 11th, we have Ethan Reed. 12th, Josh Anderson. 13th, Dawson Guzik. 14th, Jesse Francisco. 15th, Tim Thompson. 16th, Fozzie Fazzillo. 17th, Josh Betts. 18th, CJ Conklin. 19th, Zane Bierman. And 20th, Michael Picone. 21st, Aaron Reed. 22nd, William Burrell. 23rd, John Crane. 24th, Xavier Bays. 25th, James Molyneux. 26th, Alex Jaspers. 27th, Nick Nickerson. And 28th in last place, Morgan Smith. All right. So, let's see if we can get some drivers in here tonight. Um, let's All right. Let's get our first interviewee in here. It'll be Tim Thompson, your Bronze Division winner. Hey Tim, it's Jack and Liam in the booth. You got a copy?
I've got you.
How's it going tonight? You are your winner here for the Bronze Division. How you feeling tonight? Tell us about your race.
Oh, yeah, I feel pretty good. I've been out of it for a little bit. This is my second week back. I kept it clean tonight. I ended up with 4 incident points, and yeah, it actually went well for me tonight. Feel good.
Very good, very good. Yeah, it looked like it was a pretty smooth run for you tonight. Just barely getting into that top 10 with Dave Tilford right up front. Um, or no, I'm sorry, that was with Ethan. Yeah, getting 12th place. So yeah, getting pretty good right there. Anything special happen in the race, or you just try and keep it pretty clean?
Just trying to keep it clean, put in as many laps as I can. Like I said, it's been a while since I've been in back with the league, so yeah, I just wanted to keep it clean and get as many laps in as I could, and it went well. So I feel good about tonight.
Very good, very good. Yeah, how you feeling about next week's track? I think we're heading to, is it Sebring? Let's
Where are we at?
see. Oh no, we're going to Le Mans next week.
I'll have to put in some practice. So yeah,
Yeah,
but I'll be there.
sweet. Yeah, sounds good. Hopefully we can replicate that success tonight and move that forward into next week. Anyone you want to give a shout out to or thanks tonight?
You know what? I'd like to thank the league. I'd like to thank the league for putting this together, maintaining order, and my wife for putting up with me and letting me do these things. So, and you guys for broadcasting. You guys do a great job. When I'm not racing, I'm able to watch, and I think you guys do a great job. So, thank you.
Well, we appreciate it, and it's nice having you back out here racing with us.
Thank
We
you.
definitely appreciate seeing all the support here tonight, and yeah, we'll let you go and go celebrate with friends and family.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week.
All right, sounds good. Congratulations.
Bye bye.
And that was your Bronze Division winner here tonight. I do not see Austin Diltz so far. Maybe he'll show up here afterwards. But we can bring in your Rookie Division winner. Let's do that with Dustin Neerhoof. I think, actually, is he around? Oh, I do not see him. All right, so we are going to go into your podium position and your Gold Division winner. That would be Nathan Nickerson. Nathan, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, congratulations with that third place here tonight and Gold Division win. Want to walk us through your race? Tell us how it went.
Yeah. So in qualifying, once I was it the 23-3 in qualifying or practice from Mason? It's like, oh man, I'm half a second off. So not sure if I can hang with the boys tonight. But once the race started, it was battle plenty out front for sure between the top three, which allowed me to kind of hang right there. And I was even pushing Dustin, hoping to get Dustin back up in the lead at one point, trying to stay with him. And eventually, I saw Chris and Dustin make contact, spin out. So then I was like, yes, now I can break away with Mason. And eventually, we kind of broke away because of that. And then I made a couple mistakes on the grass outside right before the second to final banking. And yeah, that was pretty much it from there. I was catching Hamilton at the end and just couldn't pull it off at the end. A couple mistakes held me back.
Yeah, we noticed a few of those, unfortunately. Getting in the grass. You had the lead there for a little bit. Looked like Mason giving you some pressure there. Was he in your mind a lot at that time period, or were you just
Oh
trying to
yeah,
focus on your race?
yeah. I'm thinking the whole time, man. He's just saving fuel. He's gonna take less fuel at the next pit stop, and probably thinking about that made me just slightly go on the grass. But no, it's always fun to be out in the lead with Mason behind because he kind of just chills there and knows he'll get me later in the race. So I appreciate that.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, he looked pretty quick there toward the end too. Once he cleared some of the lap traffic, Mason kind of took off from everyone. But still pulling in victory lane for gold division and third place overall. So still got to feel pretty good about that. Anyone to give a shout out to or thanks tonight?
I'd like to thank Ricky Renner for watching tonight. He couldn't make the race tonight, but he was doing the comms and the Discord muting me when I was asking to mute and stuff. So appreciate that from him. And then
Nice.
the family for watching, all the boys watching in Discord, and then you guys for putting on the stream.
Awesome, awesome. Well, always happy to be here helping everyone out. Yeah, glad to see you guys making it out here tonight as well. Yeah, it was a great race. How do you feel about Le Mans next week?
I feel good about it now. I didn't know it was next week, but it's definitely a fun track. I know I'm probably a second or two off right now, so definitely got some practice to get through.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tough track. Not personally not my favorite, so I'll be up here watching again with John. So well, I'll wish you luck for that race and let you go celebrate with friends and family.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Yep. Have a good night. All right, that was your gold division winner, and looks like I have Dustin right here waiting for the broadcast. So let's get him in here and talk about his rookie race. Dustin, it's Jack and Liam in the broadcast booth. You got a copy? You got a copy there, Dustin? All right, we'll drop him back down for now and see what he can do here later on. For now, let's see, yep, Christopher Hamilton is right here, so let's get him in for your second place overall. Uh, Christopher, it's Jack and Liam in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, boys.
All right, second place overall. Feeling pretty good. One behind Mason. Want to talk us through your race tonight?
First I owe a formal apology to Dustin. I definitely did not mean to get into him. I'm sure that was caught on the broadcast. That was all on me. I feel bad about it, but after that, I kind of just put my head down and tried not to lose touch with the front guys. And there came a point where it was getting kind of difficult to pass, and I was losing touch with Mason, which is why I decided to short pit when I did. And it was just by that time, Mason was just far too gone.
Yeah, definitely. Mason definitely putting on a clinic there at the final few laps. Yeah, we were looking at that crash with you and Dustin, and there is actually quite a bit of netcode that occurred right there. So we could definitely see not really anyone's fault when netcode is that much involved. Obviously, the curb looked like it upset your car a little bit, but yeah, I think it was just some bad luck and just some hard racing.
I couldn't tell. I mean, I couldn't tell you how much feet I had or how much netcode there was in the car. All I saw was upset car, then a sideways Mustang, and I was like, "Darn!" We were having a decent battle. It might have been different. I'm not sure if Mason would have worked his way up if I would have kept the position. I wasn't trying to fuel save or anything. I was just trying to push the whole time.
Yeah, I gotcha. It was definitely looking pretty good. I saw you guys going three wide there into that left-hander on the backstretch, so that was also pretty fun to watch. The four of you guys kind of get tangled up right there. Yeah, anything else in your race that was eventful for you?
Other than that, no, not really. Just kind of, I'm not running a full season. I don't even know when the next time I'll be able to race is. I am signed up for the season, but it's just like if it lines up, cool. If not, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. Hope these boys have a good season.
Yeah, absolutely. How you? Actually, yeah. Are you going to be able to race Le Mans next week?
I will not, so I will be watching.
All right. Well, no problem. Anyone to give a shout out to or thanks tonight?
Huge shout out to Ryan McCauley who painted this fun ruby paint scheme way back when. We kind of updated it for the new BMW. It's love this paint scheme. I try to use it. It even has Core Racing on the side of it. I don't know if you caught that. Huge shout out to everyone here at Core. It's where I came from. Love this place. They always welcome me with open arms. And thank you guys for the broadcast. Hope you guys had a good time.
Always do. Yep. Congratulations here tonight, and we'll look forward to seeing you here next time.
Hey, take care, guys.
Yep. No problem. Have a good night. All right. That was your second place overall, and let's get Mason Smith here for your overall leader. Mason, it's Jack and Liam in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right, you are our winner here tonight in both platinum and overall divisions. So you want to walk us through your race here tonight?
I mean, well, just fuel saving the first half of the race. You know, you know, not be aggressive, even though I know you want me to talk about the four wide there almost.
Yeah, that was quite exciting to watch, watching you guys go through there. I know you are a big advocate for fuel saving, but I'm sure that was one of those moments that fuel saving wasn't really on the table.
Uh, yeah, I thought didn't think that through because since like Chris and Nathan they were like closer behind than I expected them to, so that's why I made the move. And then I realized it wasn't wise, so I just backed out and continue back on what I was doing in the first place. And well, surprisingly, it worked out with Chris and I think Dustin tangling together and just focus on the pit stops and all, and that's what got me to win.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like big strategy gains helped you out there. You had a second, approximately 1 second faster pit stop than the rest of the field right there. So saving that little bit of fuel really helped you out at the end and looked like you were able to just take off from there. So definitely some great strategy and great driving from you here tonight.
Thank you, thank you. That's
Yeah,
all what it took.
what was up?
That's all what it took to win the Indy course.
Yeah, absolutely. I know this track can be a little bit tricky. Track conditions not too bad, but it seemed like the track was pretty good here tonight as it was going into the night. So keeping the track pretty cool helped out a little bit.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, very nice. Well, anyone who you want to give a shout out to or thanks tonight?
Absolutely to y'all on the broadcast, and to my family that always watches. So, thank you very much.
Yep, of course, of course. Well, how you feeling about next week at Le Mans?
Well, the last time I did it, I ran the Acura, and it was okay, but it was not great. So maybe a little change up here. I gotta do more testing, but I feel confident in Lamar overall.
Very good, very good. We'll look forward to seeing you at Le Mans and seeing what you can do there. Um, in the meantime, we'll let you go celebrate with friends and family for your win tonight, and have a good night.
Have a good night.
All right, well, let's see if we can get Dustin back here on the broadcast and get his brain on his race here tonight. Dustin, it's Jack and Liam in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yep.
All right. Look like you're rookie division winner here tonight. You want to walk us through your race?
It was a good battle at the start of the first half of the race. Got through the first pit stop, had some good fighting up front between us all. Uh, got into a battle with Hamilton, ended up with a little bit of unfortunate contact, hitting me back about 5, 6 seconds, and just couldn't fully recover from it.
Yeah, it was pretty unfortunate. We saw that on the booth and looked like a good foot or so of netcode. So it was just a tough break from iRacing, kind of giving some bad luck for you guys there. But you're looking really strong in the opening laps and keeping it fair, keeping it clean, but still pretty aggressive. So we up here thank you for giving us some good entertainment.
Yeah, that's all we can do. Try to give you guys some good entertainment. The clean racing, the good fighting up there, just makes for so much fun. Just fun you can't find anywhere else. It's a blast.
Yeah, absolutely. We are always excited to have new members and new members to challenge for the lead here too. That's always a bonus as well. So thank you for that. Anything else in your race that was particularly interesting?
I mean, not a whole lot. I remember it was towards the beginning of the race. We ended up. It was me. I can't remember who else I was in a battle with, but I ended up messing up on the backstretch. I ended up going like 3 or 4 wide going into the left-hander. It was a crazy battle. That was a fun one.
Yeah, absolutely. We got that one on board too. So you'll definitely be able to watch back that battle and kind of appreciate the gravity of what was going on there. Yeah, a lot of fun watching there. Anyone you can give a shout out to or thanks tonight?
Shout out to you guys putting on the broadcast. Shout out to Core to putting on the league, and shout out to WBM Racing. Good group of guys to race with.
Awesome, awesome. We'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family here tonight, and yeah, have a good night.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, thank you. All right, well, that was your top positions there for the race here tonight here at Indy Motor Speedway. Um, Definitely a lot of fun, kind of seeing what these drivers could do. Appreciate everyone here tonight watching. Want to thank Chase Decals for sponsoring the series tonight. Definitely couldn't do it without them. So definitely go check them out, either on their website or just go say thanks to Josh Anderson for helping us out. Definitely want to thank Liam for joining me here in the booth tonight. A lot of
Say,
fun.
it was a pleasure to be a part of this, and thank you for the opportunity.
Well, of course, anytime. I think next week it'll be me and John here in the broadcast covering Le Mans. So, yeah, we'll wish everyone a good night and a good week. And yeah, we'll see everyone here um, next week. Definitely appreciate all that. Um, yeah, have a good weekend.